morning, it's Lindsay Elliott from Lindsay Elliott Coaching, www.lindsayelliott.co.uk, and it's a very cold morning here in the UK, so I've got my warm coat on. So this week and next week I'm going to be talking about yo-yo dieting, emotional eating, weight loss, and you would also add into that any, in inverted commas, bad habit that you might have. So things like shopping, drinking, smoking, looking at your phone, anything really. So I'm going to be talking about the process that goes on within our psychology and within our being around yo-yo dieting and emotional eating, and looking at ways that I help clients to do this differently. So the traditional, hello, how are you? Nice to see you all the way from Australia. So most of the traditional models that are out there at the moment for weight loss and to help people get to a comfortable weight really focus in the area of behaviour. So it's looking at adjusting what you're eating, exercising more, not eating some foods, eating more of other foods. So it's all looking at the behaviour side of things. And whilst this can be a successful route, I think that most people who struggle with their weight or some kind of emotional eating also know that this can be a bit of an ongoing spinning cycle. So go on a diet, change what you eat, force yourself to not eat the things that you enjoy, eat more of the things that maybe you don't enjoy so much, do more exercise, lose some weight, and then slowly but surely it seems to creep back in that the old patterns and the old habits of eating come back round, put more weight on, so you come off the diet, put more weight on, start to feel crap about yourself, go back on another diet, and around this cycle goes. And there's so many people caught up in this cycle that's really uncomfortable, can really dominate your life, when really you should just be out there living your life, when a lot of time is spent focused on your body and what weight you are and are you healthy, and have lots of thinking about it and lots of struggle around it. And from the paradigm that I coach from, I've seen that there is a more peaceful way, an easier way to look at this. Now, it isn't necessarily a quick fix, but the long-term benefits are that you can get off of this yo-yo dieting cycle and really make an exit from it. So I'm going to use a diagram to help illustrate this point. Now, because I haven't got an awful lot of room here, I'm going to have to sort of peek in the middle. So I'm still here. So in this diagram, we have you, lovely you, and your body and whatever weight you are, and here you are. And every day, all day, we have thought energy, thoughts passing through our mind, what to do next, what you've got coming up, thoughts about the past. Thought energy, thought power is just coming to us all day, every day. And with our thoughts comes feeling. So thought and feeling are one power, two faces of one coin. You have a thought, and a nanosecond later, you have a feeling. And then depending on what that feeling is, whether it's comfortable for you or whether it's uncomfortable for you, will lead to a behaviour. So this, I want you to see that this is the process that happens all the time, all day, with lots of different things. So the thought could be, oh, I'm going to go out for a run. You get a feeling of, oh, anticipation, behaviour, go out for a run. The thought could be, I'm going to go out for a run. I don't want to go out for a run. I feel I really should go out for a run. Lots of icky feelings. Behaviour might be go out for a run, or it might be not go out for a run. So this works with everything, but we're going to look at this in relation to food and diet and weight loss. So you may have a thought in your everyday life. It might be that you get home from work and you're feeling stressed out. You've had a busy day. You might have lots of different thoughts shooting off. I've got all this. I've got to cook the dinner. I've got to put the kids to bed. I've got to write that report. I've still got to do that. The cleaning, whatever it is. And then with all of that thought will come feeling. And depending on how you feel about that feeling that feeling. So it might be overwhelm, it might be tiredness, it might be feeling a bit sad, it might be also, you might have that sort of, yay, I've finished work, it's the end of the day kind of feeling. And depending on what your sort of, because we do sort of get sort of habitual, you know, kind of roots going on within our being. So if your sort of habitual root is the feeling of overwhelm, the feeling of feeling tired, I've still got stuff to do, and your usual reaction is to engage in a behaviour such as, I know, I'll have it, and this might be quite unconscious, it may not be totally conscious, I'll have a glass of wine to help me feel better. This is a biscuit, by the way, so, and this is a cake. My art is not brilliant. Or I'm going to have a biscuit, I'm going to have a piece of cake. That will make me feel better, because in the past, quite innocently, you've believed that those things have made you feel better. So we engage in the behaviour, and momentarily it may feel like the glass of wine, the biscuit, the cake has made us feel better. But what's actually happened is momentarily a new thought has come in, just for a split second, of either relief or relaxation, or you're focusing on the taste of the biscuit or the taste of the wine, so the feeling changes. And then generally what happens for people is they then start to feel guilty about this part of it. So I shouldn't have had that glass of wine, I said, and hello Krishnananda, nice drawings, yes, that's very kind, but they're not. And so then generally we'll say, oh, I said I wasn't going to drink until Friday, I wasn't going to eat any biscuits, I wasn't going to have that piece of cake. And then we have another thought of guilt or shame, that brings a feeling. And then generally we'll have a behaviour. It might be then we'll then go and sit on our phone, or we'll have another biscuit or another piece of cake. And this cycle just keeps on going round. So as I said at the beginning, what tends to happen is most weight loss and diet programs will look at the behaviour part of it. So it will say to you, change this behaviour, stop drinking the wine, stop eating the biscuits, stop eating the cake, but none of this really gets addressed. And whilst this can work for a certain period of time where we employ our willpower, we get all strong about it and we say, right, I'm going to go on this diet, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to stop drinking the wine, I'm going to stop having the biscuits. We generally can't keep this up for very long, because our innate nature, our innate sense is that we want to feel good. We're human beings, we like to feel good, and that's important to us. So it's only really so long we can kind of keep up with this behaviour change. Now, what I've seen in my coaching practice and in my healing practice is that when we really understand this process, that actually this behaviour never actually makes us feel better. It's only ever a new thought that makes us feel better. Engaging in the behaviour starts to look less interesting. It starts to make less sense to us. It starts to look less like a good thing to do. So if we know I'm always 100% of the time feeling my thought in the moment, that thought of feeling overwhelmed, that thought of feeling tired, that thought of too much to do, that thought of hating your body because you're overweight, whatever that thought may be, if we know that that feeling is always coming from the thought that's before it, and not actually from the overwhelm of the work, our kids shouting, the size of our body, whether we're eating biscuits or not, it's never coming from those outside things. It's always coming from thought energy, thought power in the moment, bringing a feeling. And when we can really, truly within ourselves start to see this, we know that the glass of wine, the biscuit and the cake is never actually going to change our thought. It just might temporarily disrupt it. But what we do have going for us is that thought energy is coming from the universal energy that powers all of life, which is here. It's coming through us, and it's always changing, it's always refreshing, it always brings us something new. So even if we don't engage in the behaviour, even though we may really want to, at some point, it might be a couple of seconds, it might be 5 minutes, it might be an hour, that thought will naturally change on its own. You'll start to settle down, you'll get on with the task in hand, the feeling will change, you'll feel more settled, you'll feel more happy, all on its own, without having to engage in this behaviour. And in terms of weight loss, when we can see this, that it's never the cake, it's never the glass of wine, it's never the biscuit that's actually making us feel better. It's always our thought in the moment changing that's making us feel better. Then quite naturally, we stop engaging in the behaviour, we stop taking in food that isn't good for our body because we know it's not going to do us any good, and quite naturally our weight will change. And what I've also seen is that when people deeply see this process is occurring within them, that quite naturally the foods that you can get more in tune with your body's own inner wisdom, and quite naturally we will choose foods that are healthier for our body. So there is less struggle, there's less, sometimes you need to apply a little bit of willpower, but there's less need to really kind of gather your willpower up and hold on to it and engage with it every day. And the whole process, slowly but surely, just becomes a bit easier. And what I also want to just say is that this is happening to, within you quite naturally, is innate well-being, is the innate ability to feel good, is the innate ability to feel peaceful. And it's only ever the experience of overwhelming thoughts, of stressful thoughts, of anxious thoughts. Oh, it's the doorbell. It's only the experience of this thought coming in that takes us away from that innate well-being that's within us, that innate ability to feel good. We always come back to this set point. Now, we may not realize it if we're really caught up in our heads, but if you look over the day, even if you've got lots of busy, stressful thoughts going on, at some point it's like a wave. It always resets back to some peace and some calm. This is how we're built. This is the beautiful human design, that this thought energy will change, it will bring a different feeling with it, and this is flowing all of the time. So I'll just get my little snow globe out. So it's a bit like, I've used this in other videos, you know, when you come home from work, or whether you're battling with yourself about what you're going to eat, and you're really thinking that you've got all the, you know, you've got to do the weight loss, and you've got to stop eating the biscuits, and you know, you've got too much to do. Your mind is all shaken up. It's all cloudy. There's lots going on. You're in a bit of a thought storm. But if we can just see that this is what's going on, we can see that we're feeling our thinking in the moment. We're not feeling our life. We can take a breather, and quite naturally this happens. It becomes clear, we reset to calm, we reset to peace, and we can carry on. So there isn't actually anything that we need to do. It might be that our wisdom says to us, have a bath, sit down and read a book for 10 minutes, do some breathing, but we don't actually ever have to do anything to help this thought to change. Thought power will change all on its own. And we will always settle back down, and our system will reset. So it's not about adding into the system positive thinking or trying to get positive feelings. It's because that really, I found that just adds more noise into the system. That just keeps us shaken up. If we're trying to say affirmations and trying to think our way out of it, that tends to just add more mental noise, when really what we want to be is, rather being up here in our busy head, we want to end up down here, back in our hearts. That's just metaphorical, really. It's just really about being in the space of that peace and that calm, which tends to be kind of felt, I think, in the sort of heart center. So I hope that's helpful. And I'm going to be doing a special offer on I have a nutrition psychology coaching package, because I'm also a trained nutritional therapist. So at the end of the coaching program, we also do talk about what's healthy to eat, if you need help with that, even though I have 100% belief that your body, your inner wisdom, when you haven't got all of this going on and driving the behavior, when you understand this, I believe that your body will guide you to exactly what food you need to eat. But at the end of the program, when you've seen this more clearly and you've started to see some change in your eating without having to do anything, we can also talk about what you need to eat, if that's helpful. So I'm going to be having a special offer in January, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll be getting that out soon. And I hope this has been helpful, and thank you for those who joined me live today, and thank you for watching the recording, and I'll be doing another one about this topic next Thursday. Okay, much love.